Okay, so I am convinced this is the Eagles trade that needs to happen before the deadline. It just makes too much sense. Meanwhile, the Eagles offense, including the OC, just unlocked something that has the NFL scared. So much to break down, including why ain't Jalen Hurts in the MVP conversations? Plus, Nick Sirianni told us the game plan for this bye week. And you got to see this play where Devonta Smith absolutely made a Giants guy fall. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you rock with the 6-2 Eagles, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So just a couple weeks ago, we had Giant fans, Cowboy fans, and Commander fans talking about how the NFC East is wide open after the Eagles lost to the Broncos and the Giants and blah, 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 blah. Just 2 weeks later, the Philadelphia Eagles are a NFC second best 6-2, only trailing the Green Bay Packers, who we play after the bye week. However, now looking at the NFC East, it's a laughingstock minus the Philadelphia Eagles. Cowboys lost by 20 to the Broncos, making them 3-4-1. Commanders lost by 21 to the Chiefs, making them 3-5. And of course, we beat down the Giants, making them 2-6. And during the last 2 weeks, Jalen Hurts has thrown the rock for over 500 yards and 7 touchdowns. The man only has 9 incompletions in the last 2 weeks. And what the NFL thought was his kryptonite early in the season, he has now mastered these last 2 weeks. Jalen Hurts versus the Blitz over the past 2 weeks. 21 of 25 for 354 yards passing, 5 TDs, 0 interceptions, and a perfect 158.3 passer rating. Sheesh, that is a bad man right there. And again, everybody who was blitzing in the beginning of the season, they about to change their mind real quick. And again, the Eagles offense is only going to get better after the bye week.
Saquon Barkley is back, and the Eagles officially have defenses in hell. I'm going to show you how Saquon Barkley had more rushing yards in this one play than he had the entire game the last time they played the Giants. So how the hell did this just happen? Well, let's take a quick history lesson. See, the Eagles lined up in this exact same formation that they lined up versus the Minnesota Vikings last week. Minnesota Vikings, the Eagles are in what we call 11T. 11 stands for one running back, one tight end. The T that I just mentioned, it stands for an extra tackle. A.J. Brown, he's lined up tight to the formation. Hey, what the Minnesota Vikings do? Minnesota Vikings, they brought a safety down to stop the run. But what happened when they brought the safety down to stop the run? Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, they lit him up. 79-yard touchdown pass. So 11T, Minnesota Vikings, they bring an extra safety down to stop the run. That is Harrison Smith. Okay, so the Eagles' Kevin Patullo, offensive mind, he says, when we face the New York Giants, we're going to come out in the second play of the game, and we are going to come out in this 11T formation, and we are going to see how are the New York Giants going to play it. Second play of the game, 14 minutes left in the game. It's real simple. New York Giants, they keep both their safeties high. Same thing, one tight end, one running back. Both safeties high. Oh, we're not going to pass it. You want to keep both safeties high to protect against Devonta Smith in the pass? We're just going to run it. Tackles, they're coming up. Linebackers, they're blocked. Now we have Saquon Barkley versus the safety. The objective of an offense during the run game, get the running back one-on-one with the defensive back. And that's a battle that Saquon Barkley going to win every single time. But you missed something. You missed something. But I'm nice enough to tell you, peep this. Devonta Smith already got his hand in the air, and Saquon Barkley ain't hit the 50-yard line. Come on, man. Come on. The Eagles have defenses in hell with this 11T look. Because if you want to come out there and you want to keep two safeties high like the New York Giants did, oh, don't worry. We going to run on you. But if you want to mess around and you want to put a safety in the box like the Minnesota Vikings did, oh, we going to air it out on you. Either way, you're wrong. And either way, the Eagles scoring touchdowns. Ready, break.
It's no surprise that the Eagles go under center for 2 straight weeks, and we have our best passing game and rushing game. And for those who try to say that Jalen Hurts don't like being under center, that's why the Eagles don't do it, wrong.
I enjoy being under center and being able to complement things within our run game and find a flow. But ultimately, I think it's about finding a flow in what you do. It's not necessarily, you stick a guy under center, or you're playing from the shotgun, or you're in the pistol. It's about what are you doing when you're under center.
Exactly. Before, under center was automatically a run. And although this is a run from under center, because of the looks we gave last week, the Giants weren't ready for it, and Saquon Barkley made him pay early. But that isn't the only reason the Philadelphia Eagles got the run game working. Yes, the play action pass versus the Vikings definitely opened up eyes, not for just the Giants, but the rest of the NFL, which freed up the run game. But we're back to pinning and pulling and just looking like the 2024 run game. And I do got to credit the center, Brett Toss. But before we hear Baldy break that down, plus go over exactly why Denzel Ward needs to be the next Eagles trade, we also go over a play where Smitty made a Giants guy fall and so much more. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Introducing Lumi for men, and we named him Mando, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to block odor all day and controls odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, between your butt cheeks. So here's the odor controlling math. 12 hours after a shower with soap, the average armpit and nether region had an odor score of 8 and 5 out of 10. 12 hours after a shower with soap and applying Mando, those odor scores were 0. How do you like them apples?
It's a no-brainer to go get your Mando products. Why not stop BO, sweat, and all that stuff before it gets there? My favorite got to be the deodorant, Mount Fuji. Again, it comes with a body wash. It comes with a cream. And they even have whites for your pits, packages, and feet. Again, when you get out of the shower, you hit yourself up so you can last 12 hours without anything coming back. Stay fresh with Mando. So right now, new customers can get 20% off site-wide with promo code PhillyMike at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. I got mine. Go get yours. Again, link in the description and or go to shopmando.com. Use promo code PhillyMike. Get your Mando.
Why the Eagles were so good in the run game on Sunday was they used a lot of pin and pull. Like Dickerson pins Dexter Lawrence and Toth pulls on Okereke, and Barkley goes for 8 yards. They ran it left and they ran it right. You watch Lane right here on the pin right here by the tight ends. And now Lane gets out wide, and Toth comes out, and Malata's downfield, and Barkley goes for 28. All right? These pin and pulls were great. You watch Goddard right here on Brian Burns, and he gets Lane out on Banks right here. And there comes Toth pulling around. He was great, by the way, at center all day. And then was over here on the left side. You're going to get Dickerson and Toth on a gut right here, pin and pull. Here we go. And there goes Bigsby. I mean, 2 backs over 100 yards. Like, they've been waiting to get these toss cracks and pin and pulls and some of these plays in the playbook. Last week was play action. This week it was pin and pull, and the offense gets better and better.
It took the Eagles having a mini bye after getting beat from the Giants, 10 days off, to even add the wrinkles we had. What do you think we're going to do this bye week? Nick Sirianni already said that we, as a coaching staff, will be in the lab trying to grow this offense even more the way we did the last 2 weeks with this bye week. And one more time, shout out to the whole offensive line, but give Brett Toth, let's call him BT. When you play that good, you deserve a nickname. BT, he might not really be a guard. He might be a center, because the way he got these guys lined up, no flags, he was blocking in the pass game, the run game, pulling, he was doing it all. Shout out to BT64. Now, before we talk about why the Eagles need to target a cornerback a little bit more than an edge rusher, I'm okay with getting both. I want to show this comparison of Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen 2025 passing stats. We're not talking rushing touchdowns or nothing. Just passing stats. Allen, 7 games played. Hurts, 8 games played. Allen, 68% completion percentage. Hurts, 70.2% completion percentage. That's without the rushing stats. As I said, you add that in, and Hurts even looks better. Of course, Allen has some rushing too. But why is it so hard for the national media to admit Jalen Hurts is him? Switching over to a possible Denzel Ward trade, Thomas R. Peterson laid it out perfectly. He said, and I quote, "Browns cornerback Denzel Ward to the Eagles makes so much sense. Already restructured, the team is an absolute mess, and the Eagles have a huge need. He's 28 years old, which reminds Thomas R. Peterson of the Slay trade. And what do we end up giving up for a big play Slay? Was a 3rd round pick. I'm telling you, Denzel Ward is an absolute dog. If you get him on the team, you don't got a cornerback 2. You got 2 cornerback 1s and the best, I repeat, the best nickel in the NFL in Cooper DeJean. That 3-piece tandem itself is going to allow Vic Fangio to do a lot of different things with the safeties, with the linebackers, and more importantly, with the pass rush, who again, I want to remind you, will be healthy after the bye week. Brandon Graham will be in football shape. He can help out. Nolan Smith will be back, who is probably our best pass rusher coming into the season. Jalix Hunt is starting to heat up, leading the Eagles in pressures over the last couple weeks. Joshua Uche heating up, and of course the interior's been getting busy. We're coming off a 5-sack game. Now, I know Fangio said we could have rushed better. That is true. But with the 2 additions and the guys heating up, I still feel we can use a body at the edge rush position. But I feel like cornerback is more important because every time Fangio talks about who's the starting cornerback 2, Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo, or Jacorian Bennett, he really don't know. And you can't be trying to compete for a Super Bowl and be more than halfway in the season and not really feel comfortable with the guy out there. He's like, well, I'd rather be. He don't really know who he even wants out there at cornerback 2. Although, again, he's been able to shade Adoree Jackson, low-key shade Keely Ringo, and we still got to figure out who Jacorian Bennett is. The way we have everything else set up for us and a great coach in Vic Fangio himself, we've been able to shade it up a little bit. But playoffs, people like to exploit things, and we don't want to get caught slacking. As for the roster move, we let go of 2 people off the practice squad. I was thinking, okay, Eagles getting ready to make a move, and today we bring back Perry Nickerson to the practice squad, but I still think a move's going to be made. Howie Roseman just don't want to swing for a random one. He wants to get something that's going to make a difference, like a Denzel Ward. Let me know in the comment section, what would you give up for Denzel Ward? Player picks, let me know. Now, yesterday in the live stream, we had a lot to say about the run game. If you missed the live stream, what are you doing? Turn on the notification bell. But Tank's Bigsby 100-yard game was crazy. He had 9 carries for 104 yards. Shout out to Saquon, who had 150. 2 rushers for over 100 yards, which is big to me because that's coming off 2 wide receivers over 100 yards each. So you got 300 from the wide receiver duo one week and 278 from the running back duo the next week. That is making your offense look unstoppable. That being said, though, the 2nd and 31 run was crazy. Nobody thought he was going to get that. And the Tank run at the end was wild as well. Shout out to Tank, really showing out in Kelly Green for that running back 2 spot. As for the Devonta Smith play where he made a guy fall, let's look at it closer. At the bottom of the screen, you got Smitty versus the DB one-on-one. Smitty's going to hit him with the stop and go and pull him out of his cleats, making him fall with a lot of separation. Hurts goes to Jahan Dotson, who head tops the guy who was on him for a touchdown. But again, look when Jalen Hurts is throwing this ball. Jalen Hurts is throwing it to Jahan Dotson before Smitty made him fall, so you can't blame him. Now, granted, Smitty was more wide open, but the play resulted in a touchdown. But Smitty is an absolute dog. With that being said, I go by Philly Mike. This is the Philly Talk Podcast. Go get your Mando. Click the link in the description and or the pinned comment section. Leave all your thoughts. I love hearing from you. Y'all teach me things. Hit the like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you watch the YouTube shorts, the videos, which y'all normally do, but come through the live streams. I love hearing from y'all live. Until next time, you know what time it is. Philly strong. We out.